The word Druid conjures images of mystery. We see figures in long, flowing robes. They stand within circles of moss-covered stones. We imagine them chanting in a forgotten tongue. A picture pieced from myth and whispers of history. Powerful, deep connection to nature, to the turning seasons. Secrets the earth holds. Not just priests, something more. A world of forests, rolling hills, sacred groves. So who were these figures? Druids, intellectual and spiritual elite of the Celtic peoples. They thrived across Britain, Ireland, Gaul. Becoming a Druid required immense dedication, a path taking up to 20 years of training. They were philosophers, scientists. The Druids were the ultimate authorities in Celtic society, serving as judges and lawmakers. Their word was final. If a chieftain or a commoner had a dispute, they would bring their case before the Druids. These weren't simple mediations. They were profound legal judgments, rooted in generations of tradition. A Druid's ruling was based on a complex system of unwritten laws that governed everything from property rights to personal honor. To defy a Druidic judgment was unthinkable. The most severe punishment was a form of excommunication. This social power was built on their role as the educators of the elite. Sons of nobles were often sent to study under the Druids. Here, they wouldn't just learn battle strategies or leadership skills. They memorized epic poems, studied the stars, learning philosophies of the natural world. This was the Celtic equivalent of a university. The Druids were its revered professors. By educating the next generation of leaders, the Druids ensured their values were woven into power. They shaped the minds of future kings, guaranteeing cultural continuity and their own indispensable place within it. Their knowledge spanned ritual, law, and practical arts. At the heart of the Druids' world was their spiritual role. They were the intermediaries between the mortal world and the other world, the realm of the gods and spirits. The Celts believed that spirits were everywhere, in leaves, in sacred springs, in the depths of bogs. The Druids knew how to communicate with these forces. They led rituals and sacrifices to appease the gods, to ensure a good harvest or to secure victory in battle. Ceremonies were often held in nemetons, cathedrals built of living trees. The practice of sacrifice is controversial, largely due to lurid Roman accounts. Writers like Caesar described wicker men filled with living people being set ablaze. Archaeological evidence for that specific story is scarce, though sacrifice was part of their world. Offerings were made to maintain cosmic balance. Golden torques, magnificent swords, bronze cauldrons, objects of ritual and status, often cast into lakes or buried in bogs. Animal sacrifice was common. Some Irish tales mention rites like the Tarbfeis, a bull feast used for prophecy. A seer would eat, drink broth, sleep on the hide, and receive visions. Druids studied the sun, moon, and stars to create sophisticated calendars, practical for farming and festival timing. They used these alignments to mark solstices and equinoxes. The world of the Druids began to fade with the expansion of the Roman Empire. Romans documented what they saw, fascinated and wary. Caesar noted their power over Gallic tribes. They culminated in a brutal assault on the Druid stronghold on Anglesey in 60 AD. Tacitus described soldiers frozen by fear as Druids called down curses, but the legionaries pressed on. They felled groves and destroyed Druidic centers, breaking the back of organized Druidry in Britain. Yet the spirit did not vanish. In Ireland, traditions lingered longer. The Druid figure evolved into the Fili, the poet, historian, counselor to kings. Old beliefs were absorbed into Christianity. Saints and goddesses blended. The Romantic era rebirthed fascination. Poets and scholars reinvented the Druid myth. Neo-Druidism blended ancient accounts with modern ideas. The white-robed sage at Stonehenge. Not a direct continuation, but a revival reflecting a deep human longing. They remind us of a time when humanity's connection to the earth was absolute, a world where the spiritual and the natural were one and the same. The Druids are a mystery wrapped in a whisper of history, waiting to be rediscovered in the mists of the past.